You may think everybody that come to church in their numbers are true worshipers. It's a very big lie. Many people may be worshipers, but they are not true worshipers. Because what God is looking for is not just worshipers, but true worshipers. You see, everybody can eat and go to toilet and shit, but not everybody can have sufficient nutrient to survive inside. Because many people are eating, they are not eating balanced diet. It will require true worshipers to partake of the balanced diet within the manners. You see, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, it then means that what differentiates true worshipers and worshipers is that others do it outside of the spirit and outside the truth, and those true ones do it in spirit and in truth. That now brings us to another problem, because we need to be able to answer what is spirit and what is truth. Because the woman problem has not ended, because if she doesn't understand spirit and truth, she will still be part of the worshipers. Because Jesus was trying to bring her to a point of becoming a true worshiper, because she had been a worshiper. Are we in the journey? Say, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. That means there have been so many worship that has been going on, whether in Jerusalem, whether in Judea, whether in Samaria. In fact, some people outside of the Samaria and outside of Jerusalem, they are still worshiping. But the Father has been hearing them. But what he's looking for is what? True worshiper. So anytime you see nutrient given, is because true worshippers have partake. And that is why nutrient is given. So he went and advanced and now said, God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. I mean, if you observe, the King James has been able to make some demarcation for the east there. If you're a Bible student, you know what that means. If you don't know, should I help you? What it meant is that this east was not there before. Do you understand? In the real Hebrew context, when you look at it, this east does not exist. This is an A, they are not part of it. It's just God, Spirit. God, Spirit. Or the emphasis is God is Spirit, not A. Because that A is just put upon to make sense. Is that okay? If you check the Septuagint, if you have the Greek, you will discover that one does not exist. So it's just God is Spirit. And worship, Spirit, truth. That's just how it is. So they have to put some of those words just so that it can make sense. But the context there is that God is spirit, not God is. If you say God is a spirit, what does that mean? It means you have limited God and put him in a category of other spirit. What do you mean by that? That's rubbish. If God come here now, we don't have to categorize him. He is the category. Because if somebody has the power if God decide that he withdraw his breath out of creation, all of us will not exist. Should we categorize him again? No, now. So God is spirit. Anything you call spirit is God. Including the devil is inside God. You don't believe it? Everything upon the face of the earth came out from God, good and bad, all. Nothing exists outside of him. So God is spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. If you observe something also, you now realize that there is this allotment of capital and small letter here. Do you realize that? The first spirit has capital letter, second spirit has small letter. Are we in the same page? The first one there is a personality. Basic noun, right? The first one there is a personality. The other one there is an expression. Is that okay? So what then is spirit and truth? Of course, when you advance, you will see where Jesus was driving to. Let's go further. Well, we need to pray. My time, I have another engagement. The woman said unto him, I knew that Messiah come, which is called Christ. And when he come, he shall tell us all these things. Now she's already confused. And because she's confused, she's trying to let him understand that we are talking about spirit and truth. And me, this thing was not taught to me in the council of the Sanhedrin. There was never a time that the Pharisees and the Sadducees sat down and said, today's topic is spirit and truth. Because they don't even know it. Because what is going to give them the advantage to draw nutrient from this is when they know spirit and truth. And Jesus was referring her to spirit and truth. And now when she realized that his matter, his talk was hard, she said, let's forget about this thing. I know that Messiah will come. And if I don't know anything, I know that a Messiah will come. And when that Messiah come, he will introduce to us spirit and truth. And so that means they know that everything they are doing does not have the ability to bring result until there is spirit and truth. And spirit and truth is not just a word that you read and believe it. Spirit and truth is a personality. So she knew that until that personality comes, the reality of God cannot be made available. It then means when you hear they say the Old Testament is a shadow, what does that mean? Do you know that nobody ever achieved anything in the Old Testament? I know you will doubt me. Bible says you will just be doubting me now. The Old Testament is a shadow. Everything there is night. Day has never break. Life actually begins in the New Testament. If not, if there was no New Testament, do you know that me and you don't even have any plan? We will not even know whether we are existing. We are born in death, we die and die. The New Testament gives us an economy of survival. Everybody is doing everything doing because there was another beginning again. In the beginning, there was a beginning. All that beginning was in darkness. In the new beginning is when life was introduced. Because everybody there died. Check. From Genesis, not to Revelation, to Malachi, everybody died. In fact, there was what is referred to as the dark age, where in the book of Malachi, it was a silent for 400 years. So even if you want to live, you will still die. Within that 400 years, it was a time enough for everybody to die. So God began again. So imagine if there was no privilege of the New Testamental culture. How can we have prophet, teachers, apostles, evangelists? How can we even have somebody say, I'm born again, I'm in Christ Jesus, I'm forgiven of sin? How would that even exist? It then means that there was a shadow. Why? Because there was no spirit, there was no truth. Because it cannot be given. So the reality of God was introduced in the day Jesus walked upon the face of the earth. So John chapter 1. Because she was talking about the Messiah. She was beckoning. And all our plan is when will he come? When this man comes, we will find life. Moses came, he did not give us, he died. David came, he died. Elijah came, he died. All of them came, they looked like it, but they were not it. Because everybody was looking for the Messiah. Because even the days of Prophet Elijah, they say, who are you? Who are you? Are you the John came? Are you the Messiah? I say, I'm not, I'm just a voice crying. They were looking for the Messiah. And in the day spirit and life came, they wanted to kill him, but they can't. Why? Because that is the victory of the world. The victory of the world is in actually spirit and life. And that victory was upon the personality. The fact was Christ.